Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to drop on you my new Leap Quake Barbarian for Diablo 4. For Season 1 I made the decision that I really wanted to lean into the fun instead of the meta, and I gotta tell you, this is the most fun you are going to have playing Diablo 4. As always, I will cover every single facet of the build. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now, the skills I'm using for this Leap Quake Barbarian are Leap, Ground Stomp, Kick, Iron Skin, Iron Maelstrom, and Lunging Strike. We are not using a core skill for this build. I tested them. I do not like them. Now, I'm going to showcase, obviously, the order in the gameplay portion, but just a quick little breakdown. You will leap. You will then use Ground Stomp, which resets it, so you will leap again, to then use Kick, which then resets it, to then use Kick again, to then reset it. So you're going to be able to jump around a lot. Again, it's so much fun. And we're off. So right now I am level 73. These enemies are level 81, right? So obviously I am under leveled in this nightmare dungeon, and I'm not even fully ancestral yet. I'm still wearing sacred gear. So just know that I can be so much better. And I'm not using a potion. I'm non-potted. So pretty simple. You jump, leap, which creates an earthquake. More enemies you hit, the quicker it resets. You then use Ground Stomp, which will reset earthquake. You can then use Kick, that resets earthquake. You can then use Kick again, that resets earthquake. And then when you need extra survivability, extra damage, and unstoppable, you will use Iron Skin. And then for our ultimate, we are using Iron Maelstrom for the added damage. Now, on here, we are not using a core skill. Okay, we're using Lunging Strike as basically our generator, and when we need extra damage, we get Bleed and Hamstring from our generator. Oh my gosh, cannot believe. Horse, level 81 Butcher. Well, this is gonna be a good test right here. So overall, when we're trying to spend our fury, which we normally always have a lot of, Power Kick is going to consume all of your fury, and the more fury you have, the more damage you are going to do. So the order is Leap, Ground Stomp, makes this stuns enemies, Leap, Kick, and then anytime you need extra survivability, unstoppable, and extra damage, you want to use Iron Skin. And then Maelstrom's good for clearing the room out. And then our Lunging Strike will be our generator. It'll put bleed on enemies. You better run away, Butcher. We are killing this friggin' guy. And then for our generator, use Lunging Strike to build up your fury and put bleed on enemies, which will also slow healthy enemies. So as far as that, it works really well. And again, I am super under-leveled and under-geared. So what I'm going to be able to do with this later on is going to be pretty awesome. Now, this is not a meta build, all right? I really wanted to lean into the fun. But the fact that you're 73 and you're probably able to already push 30 dungeons is a really good starting sign. If you want to try something on the more fun-er side, Leap Quake is going to be it. Here, Butcher, just die! Oh, this Butcher's going down. For sure. Might as well just finish him off now. Come on! Better run away. All right, let's go fight the boss. Same dungeon, Blood Bishop. And this should be way easier than the 81 Butcher. Yeah, we're literally just smashing it. Die. All right, and dead. Pretty easy. let me show you how to recreate this build. Now let's check out the skill tree for our leaper, starting with the generator. You want 4 points on a lunging strike, and we are taking battle lunging strike to make sure enemies are always bleeding. We do not need the berserking node because we are going to get this from our brawling skills. We are not using a core skill. I know it is scary, and believe it or not, we are not using any shouts. I know. First build of its kind for Barbarian. I have 3 points into ground stomp, and we are taking 1 into strategic ground stomp to reset our iron maelstrom quicker. I have 1 point in imposing presence to get 3 points into vital vigor, which is going to give us damage reduction against elites. For iron skin, I only have 1 point in it right now, but this is boosted to 5 because I have +4 on my chest armor. And on here, we are taking strategic iron skin, which is going to help us with our fortify. As we come down, we are maxing kick and we are maxing leap. And for kick, we are taking power kick. This is how you're going to be spending your fury. So your leap is going to be giving you, with power leap, a lot of fury. And then obviously you're using a generator, and then you're going to spend that with power kick. The more fury you have, the harder your kick will hit for. And then right down here, aggressive resistance, damage reduction while berserking. But this is the big one, battle fervor, which brawling skill damage with at least one enemy. All you got to do is, so you hit a boss, it doesn't matter, will gain you berserking for 3 seconds, and you are going to be kicking and leaping all the time. So this is basically 100% uptime berserking build. As we come down, we have 3 into pit fighter, 3 into no mercy, just for some crit damage and damage reduction. Down here we have 1 into thick skin and 3 into counter offensive. Again, it's going to boost up your fortify. Right here, we have 2 points into Iron Maelstrom. We are not swapping weapons. We are setting all 3 of our attacks to bludgeoning weapons. So you don't need the last point right here, but you do want 3 into Wallop, and this would be great to over level to 6 if you can get it on your amulet, which I haven't yet. And then 3 into Heavy Handed. When we look at our key passive, your keystone passive, you want Unconstrained. Since this is a berserking build, again, this is going to make it where you always have berserking, and since you always have berserking, you are always going to have a 25% damage boost. So those are the skills. Moving over to our Barbarian weapon expertise, and we have kind of the standard choice here, which is our two-handed axe expertise. Whenever using a two-handed axe, 15% increased damage to vulnerable enemies, and of course we're going to be making enemies vulnerable all the time. Now let's check out the Paragon board, and remember, I am only level 73. If you want to see the full breakdown of the written guide and the endgame Paragon board, second link in the description will have the Icy Veins written guide. It goes into depth, everything about this build. Check it out, it is awesome. But to show you what I'm currently using so you can match it to the gameplay from earlier, this is my starting board. And the first thing I use, go figure, exploit. But actually in my end game build, it is not exploit, but I do need it right now. Okay. Moving over to our second board, we are using Decimator. And the second glyph I am using is Might. We are using Might. Third board, we now move over to the right and we are using Carnage. And the third glyph that I have in right now is Ire. And this is the glyph that I am currently leveling to 15. So I could unlock these strength nodes right here. Moving over to the left, my fourth board is currently Weapon Master. And this is where I'm at. Again, only 73. Second link in the description to check out the full Paragon board. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with gems. Now for your armor, you want to make sure you are using sapphires, which is damage reduction while fortified. Okay, pretty standard. We're going to be fortified all the time, including when we're fighting the Butcher. And then when it comes to our weapons, you want to use critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. And that is for all 4 of your weapons. Now, I'm going to again send you to the written guide around what hearts you want to use for the season 1 mechanic. Right now, I don't really have any of them, with the exception of the brutal heart, which is incoming damage is suppressed, and then your defense basically unleashes an explosion. This is absolutely awesome, but you're looking for crit damage on your vicious heart. and then ignoring pain on your wraithful heart. So check out the written guide for the hearts you want for the season 1 mechanic. Like I said, this build can be so much better. If you're wondering why my character looks like this, I was going for like a Link, Robin Hood, Men in Tights style. You know, that armor, it drags you down. Okay, let's go through each item one by one. Helmet, increase your armor. Really want to get cooldown reduction. Armor, Iron Skin grants unstoppable and damage reduction. And on here, this is where I have Iron Skin and brawling skill damage. In the written guide, it breaks down the affixes you want to find. Gloves, ground stomp creates an earthquake, and you deal more damage when you're inside of the earthquake. Pants, basic skill gives you damage reduction. And on here, I have a +4 to kick and a +3 to leap. Boots, damaging an enemy with kick or ground stomp resets leap's cooldown. This is literally required. You have to have this. All right. Amulet, leap creates an earthquake. You got to have this. And when you're inside of the earthquake, damage reduction. Ring, killing an enemy while berserking has an 18% chance to reset your brawling skills. This is how you're able to jump around so often. And then on your second ring, reduce the cooldown of leap per enemy hit up to 9 seconds. And I would have been able to jump around even better if this wasn't the lowest roll you can get for leap. I found a couple of them, but I keep using them over and over again. So this is the last one that I had. Now for weapons, you have increased damage per barrier, which you're going to have barrier up a lot because of Iron Skin. You're using distant enemies are stunned and take more damage. You're going to be stunning enemies all the time because of ground stomp. You're going to be taking basic skill attack speed. Trust me, this just makes the build feel a whole lot better. And last but not least, skills deal up to 40% increased damage based upon your primary resource. All your resources are going away from ground or power kick, but your generator and your leap is going to continuously build up your fury. So you're always going to have a ton. That is the gear. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of my Leap Quake Barbarian? Is there anything I missed? Is there something I can do to take this to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of the video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it, but of course, only if you think I have earned it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 86 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. I get asked all the time, Aaron, what is the best way to support? And Patreon is it. And you get lots of exclusive coverage. You get access to my VIP YouTube channel. You get access to the bonus hour of the podcast. You get access to the VIP Discord lounge. It is the best. First link in the description. That's all I've got. Hopefully you're entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.